Good morning. You might see a little bump on the side of my head. That's because yesterday I had some cancer cells removed. If you haven't got yourself checked out, be sure you do. Keep ahead of that stuff. That's what I do all the time. So today I got a little bandage in my head. But the reason I'm talking with you today is it's called Trouble Call Thursday. And I was at a training session yesterday, and a very good question came up, which I thought was very relevant for this time of year. The question was, how can I talk to a farmer about next year's crop plan or next year's order when all their crop is still in the field yet? In fact, some of those fields have 2 feet of snow on them. Well, here's the deal. One of his first goals, of course, is to get the crop out of the field. We know that. But your number one goal with that grower is not that. Your number one goal with that grower is to get his mind back in balance. Get him to thinking the way he needs to think about next year. So what you want to say to the grower is, well, John, we can't control the weather, can we? He says, no, we can't. So since we can't control the weather, we don't want the weather to control the rest of our farming operation, do we? Remember, these are buy-in statements. He's going to agree with you. He said, no, we don't want him to control the rest of our business. So you say, you know what? I work with a lot of farmers, and some of these guys are almost willing to let the weather control the rest of the success of their farming operation. You can't do that. And they're doing it because they stopped planning. All the growers we work with all have the highest yields every year because they plan before harvest. The crop plan done before harvest. And the reason is to take the emotion out of it. When you take the emotion out and you're not worrying about the weather or the markets or input costs or how the crop's going to do, you make a really good pragmatic plan. See, this conversation hasn't changed, has it? It's the same conversation we've had all summer long. But you got to get these guys' minds back in balance, get their attitudes looking forward, so they start planning and stay on focus for next year. So what you say to the guys, so John, we don't want it to control us, do we? Nope. So let's not let the weather control our business, our future of our operation. Let's put together a cropping plan now. Let's get started, and let's go out to look at your fields right now because we can't do any harvesting. Let's go look at your fields. Let's decide what your yield goals are for those fields, and I'll put together that plan the next couple of days and come back and deliver that plan to you in a couple of days. We'll get it put to bed, and guess what it's going to do for you? It's going to lower your stress. It's a stressful time of the year, isn't it, John? He says, yes, it is. Let's get rid of that stress, and let's help you look more clearly to the future and have that cropping plan in place for next year and get that off your plate, and I can help you do it. Not hard, is it? But it's a big obstacle everybody's facing right now. Happy selling. I'm Rod Ostis. Sponsored by the Seed Seller Blueprint Live, #1 program on how to sell to farmers. We teach salespeople how to make selling easier than ever before. We show them how to take price, the need for programs, and the need for proof of performance out of the conversation, and get the producers to not just buy, but follow their lead. As smart as today's farmers are, things are changing so fast. They don't know what they don't know. So not only do we make selling easier, we show sellers how to help farmers raise higher yields than they ever thought possible or could do on their own. This episode is also brought to you by the Sales Handling Objection Playbook. How do you respond when a farmer says you got beat by 20 bushels this year? Do you have any test plot data? It's too early to order. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. Or my personal favorite, I can save $40,000 in seed costs by buying your competitor's seed cheaper. The Handling Sales Objection Playbook gives salespeople a step-by-step process, including word-for-word scripts on how to handle the most common comments and objections farmers give salespeople who call on them. Just go to the rcthomas.com/playbook to purchase this exclusive training tool today. We don't teach the old way of doing things. We teach the 21st century way farmers buy. We're the only source for that kind of information.